What's happening, everyone? This is Rick here from healthybodiesandminds.com. Hope y'all are staying healthy and sane. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing some interesting facts about cornflakes. More specifically, a specific brand of cornflakes that advocated pouring acid into women's private parts to discourage them from sexual activity. Yes, the facts are going to be a little bit gruesome and probably even bordering on gross, but these are real facts, and you gotta know how good marketing can carry a product that had a whole different purpose to begin with. So let's get started. Say hello to Kellogg's cornflakes, America's favorite cereal brand. The truth is, the very concept of breakfast was invented in Europe in the late 1800s. We, human beings, are designed to eat whatever we can get our hands on, and which usually means leftovers from the previous dinner and easy-to-get eggs at whatever time the body feels hungry. Breakfast, that very special and most important meal concept, was actually invented to sell granola, made from graham crackers, as a solution to dyspepsia. So breakfast is actually a man-made concept to sell cereals. But then, that's not the topic of today. That's probably a topic of another video. Today, I'll focus only on a specific brand of cornflakes and how it came to be. Kellogg's cornflakes was actually invented by Dr. John Harvey Kellogg in the late 1800s in Battle Creek, Michigan, as an outgrowth of John Harvey Kellogg's work at his Battle Creek Sanitarium in Michigan. Kellogg was a doctor and an adherent of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which advocated a bland vegetarian diet and abstention from things like caffeine and alcohol, and most importantly, sex. Sex in those days, let's just say, was more of a taboo thing, and the early morning churchgoers would sometimes huddle up and rub against each other in non-Christian ways, if you know what I mean, and pollute themselves. Sex with one's wife was considered a devilish act, but masturbation? Well, it was the epitome of immorality, and Dr. Kellogg believed it to be the second biggest cause of diseases that ail mankind, the first one being an unhealthy gut, for which the doctor had developed yogurt enema apparatuses. And it's a crazy thing, but we'll talk about that later in another video probably. For sex, the doctor himself had a few solutions. The doctor himself lived the life of a celibate, and all of his 7 children were actually adopted. So Dr. Kellogg decided to do something about the temptation of the flesh that plagued mankind back then, and still does, and he came up with multiple solutions. His treatments included such bizarre things as seating patients in a vibrating chair, applying carbolic acid to the clitoris to prevent harmful female masturbation, immersion in freezing radium-laced water, that's very painful, and administering electric shocks at various parts of the body. And you could very well imagine what parts of the body were usually targeted. He was an accomplished surgeon of his era, I'll give him that, but in today's scenario, he'd probably be rotting in jail for medical malpractice and cruelty. Apart from weird surgeries and procedures, Kellogg's also came up with the plan of feeding early morning churchgoers with corn flatbread made from corn dough. His brother Will Kellogg, who wasn't as educated as him, would help him prepare the dough and run the cooked dough through rollers to make a huge sheet of flatbread. The blandness of the bread was supposed to keep sexual thoughts at bay. That was the whole idea behind corn flatbread. One day, however, the 2 brothers had to run off to attend to something at the sanitarium while the dough was still cooking, and by the time they came back, the bread was already overcooked, but because they were on a tight budget, they put it through the rollers anyway, and it emerged as a thin flake. This is what we still eat as cornflakes. The younger brother Will decided to look into the marketing aspect of things and started marketing the flakes as Kellogg's cornflakes. The older Kellogg did not want the flakes to be sweet, which was something that the younger brother wanted, and they ended up feuding over business matters, and Will left to establish his own business, Kellogg's of Battle Creek. For years, they sold competing boxes of cornflakes, but ended up suing each other. After the suits were settled, the brothers were estranged for the rest of their lives. Dr. Kellogg passed away on December 14, 1943 in Battle Creek, Michigan, and in his deathbed, he apologized to his younger brother for treating him like an employee. Well, that's how it all started. While I can't really say that the Kellogg's plan worked entirely, but I reckon you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who's had a bat over a bowl of cereal. Thank you, folks. This is Rick here signing off for today. Stay healthy, stay subscribed to my channel, and I'll see you again in my next video.